So in this question, we read that the graph of f of x is shown below, where the x-intercept and the y-intercept are integers. Okay, so we can see right now that the x-intercept here is going to be at 1, and the y-intercept there is at -2. Now it says for the function where we take the square root of f of x, the number of invariant points is blank, the reference number for the domain is blank, and the reference number for the range is blank. Okay, well, when we take the square root, we are not going to allow the taking the square root of negative values here. So f of x, I can't allow to be negative. Now remember that typically when we think about this, it's y equals f of x. F of x is producing y coordinates here. So when I take the square root of f of x, what I'm taking the square root of are the corresponding y coordinates of that function. And the y coordinates are negative down here. So I'm actually not allowed to take the square root at this point of that section of the graph. So it basically disappears, which means I'm going to be left with values between x equals 1 and x equals 6. That is going to be my corresponding domain. So that will be the domain right here. So the reference number for that is going to be 5. The range, all I really got to do is look at the extremes here for my function. So I've got a point down here at 0. Actually, what I'll do is I'll clean this part up so we can focus on that. So this point right down here has got a y coordinate of 0. That's the first part of the domain here. Well, the square root of 0 is just 0. The maximum y coordinate that I get up here is 8. And so I'm going to be taking the square root of that, and that is going to become the square root of 8, which is going to simplify down into 2 square root of 2. So my range is going to be from 0 up to 2 root 2, and that's 7 right there. So now the question is, how many invariant points are we going to get? Bearing in mind, again, that we are taking the square root of just the y coordinates, then I got to think, well, what numbers don't change when I take their square roots? Well, the square root of 0 is 0, so that stays the same right there. That point will stay invariant. But additionally, the square root of 1 is 1, and so when the y coordinate is 1, and that's this point right here, that point will also not change. It's going to stay the same. So I actually have 2 invariant points in this particular problem.